A tragic loss. A mother's delusion ends in the death of her 6-year-old son. In a heartbreaking and deeply disturbing case out of Fort Pierce, Florida, a 6-year-old boy was found dead in his own bedroom. The victim of a tragedy that no one could have predicted and few can comprehend. It all began with a routine welfare check on the morning of May 30th. A deputy was sent to the home of 41-year-old Rhonda Paulynice after staff at Samuel Gaines Academy raised concerns. Young Ra'myl Pierre hadn't shown up for school in over 2 weeks. Teachers and school officials grew worried. Something didn't feel right. When the deputy arrived at the house, Paulynice was standing outside. She calmly led the officer inside. But what was waiting behind those walls was anything but calm. There in his bedroom, lying motionless on the bed, was Ra'myl. The little boy, once full of life, curiosity, and laughter, was gone. Authorities believe Ra'myl may have died as early as May 18th, nearly 2 weeks before his body was found. Because of the length of time he was left in the home, medical examiners couldn't determine the exact cause of death on the scene. His mother hadn't just failed to report his death, she had lived with it. When questioned by investigators, Paulynice made a chilling confession. She said she believed she was chosen by God, that she had been commanded to cast demons out of her own child. In her words, she was performing an exorcism. Sheriff Richard Del Toro explained what detectives uncovered. Paulynice claimed she thought Ra'myl was possessed. She believed she was carrying out a divine mission to save him from evil. When he stopped breathing, she didn't call for help. She didn't grieve. She reportedly waited, thinking, perhaps, that his soul would return once the demons had been expelled. Detectives described her demeanor as erratic, laughing at times, sobbing at others. Her mental state throughout the investigation seemed to shift wildly, and while no one can know exactly what was going through her mind, the end result is painfully clear. A joyful little boy is no longer here. Paulynice was arrested on the same day Ra'myl was discovered. She now faces multiple serious charges, including second-degree murder, failure to report a death, and tampering with a deceased person. Her bond has been set at $150,000. Tragically, this wasn't the first time law enforcement had been to the home. Officers had responded previously to domestic disputes between Paulynice and her sister, but never any reports involving Ra'myl. Just 1 day before police believed the boy was killed, authorities had even been at the house for a separate medical issue involving Paulynice. The day after his likely death, she posted religious messages on social media, hopeful and spiritual. One of her last posts featuring Ra'myl was from December 2024, months before everything unraveled. Now the community is left in mourning. Friends, teachers, and neighbors describe Ra'myl as a bright light, a happy, affectionate child who brought joy to those around him. He was loved, and he is deeply missed. Sheriff Del Toro summed it up simply, "This kid just lit the room up." As the investigation continues and the justice system takes its course, this story stands as a heartbreaking reminder of how easily unchecked mental illness or delusion can spiral into devastation. A young life full of promise ended far too soon.
For full video, click related link below or like and subscribe this channel.